We'll try her again. Hey, kitty. What are you glaring at me for? Hey. Actually, I should grab myself some.
Hello. Oh, Bear wants to know what you're doing. She's going to follow you. Hello. How's it going? How's it going, Kate? Looks like it's just you and me. Oh, goodness. Oh, hello. Hello. Shannon just went to get a soda real quick before people came back in here. Hello, everybody.
Is it working better this time?
Well, we couldn't really see it being slow on our end, so.
No, but people will tell us if it's slower or
that's true.
if it's messing up.
Switch it to live chat. There we go. Hello.
Hi, baby. What up? What happened?
What baby?
What?
Oh, they said it looks good now.
What happened?
Are you a neglected cat?
Why are you being obnoxious? That's not my fault. I don't think it is.
You sound so pathetic. Look at this pathetic kitty. Tell all the people your sob story. You tell them what your problem is?
She's a funny cat.
She has a rough life. Very hard
that's
life.
What it is. It's a hard life, isn't it?
She's neglected. Nobody ever feeds her or pets her. She's
good kitty.
She's a very
good kitty.
Neglected kitty.
Oh, clearly.
Could you name one of your cats Gary?
What's the name of cat?
No.
Gary? Gary's a snail's name.
Would you want your name to be Gary? No, she would not.
Yeah, Gary's the name of a snail.
Found you again. Some people are saying Crosby was overpaid.
Nobody's saying Crosby was overpaid. $8.7 million for one of the greatest players in the history of the game. Yeah, even now from an advanced stats perspective, he's 100% on their chart. 100%. So he's about as close to flawless as you get with a hockey player.
Feed your cat. She's skin and bones. Clearly, she's wasting away. The poor kitty, starved and neglected.
Yes.
You can tell how starved and neglected she is.
She was so happy when we were sick.
Yeah,
that made her so happy. She was so glad that we were sick and in bed.
She kept laying on my, like this. She was laying on my shoulder. Kept laying on my shoulder.
Aye.
Huh. Yep, she thinks being sick is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I heard Gary Bettman was behind the fires in Jasper.
He is behind everything. Everything is his fault. Hi. Hi. What are you doing? Hi.
Thank you.
She loves you too, but she's like, I think Dad's gonna pick me up. Okay, I'm trying to keep you from clawing her shoulder.
Hello, Yvonne. Glad you're feeling better. Who is your husband? Jinxie McJinxface tipping for the Stanley Cup. That's funny.
I'm considering Stanley Cup pick and going through, like, put all the logos on the board and then just go through a yes, no, maybe, and then go back and forth. So I may do a video on that either this week or next. I do need to make a pick, and I reserve then that pick stays that way until the start of the postseason. But yeah, I could do a pick.
Is Shannon like this normally? Shannon is always a goof. You guys have no idea. Shannon?
Yeah. Always.
He's a goof.
Nice. It's windy in here.
Whatever.
Hey, kitty.
Yvonne, which ones are your cats? Well, they're all our cats. Bear, it depends on what time of day it is. She likes me at bedtime. And then once we're going to sleep, then she's Shannon's
and food
cat.
time in the morning.
Yes. And then Pixel is definitely my baby. And then Azrael and Maple, it depends. They will take turns on who they are following. Oh, I've got a cat from my nose.
Azrael's really loved me lately. I don't know what it is, but she has.
Azrael, after Bear, Azrael is the next most needy cat.
So I do my workout every day on the treadmill, and after I'm done, you get sweaty as a guy does. Azrael thinks those shirts are the greatest thing ever. She loves shirts right after I'm done working out. It's really nasty and gross. But I had a cat once that thought my dirty socks were the greatest thing in the world. And if you tried taking them away from her, she'd bite you. So, like, cats are weird.
Shannon, what was your first cat?
My first cat was a Siamese. We had a Siamese that was part alley cat. Like, I don't think he was like purebred Siamese, but he was a Siamese. And one thing I learned very early on was when a Siamese wants your attention, you give them your attention, or they do that howl. And I don't know if you've ever heard a Siamese howl.
Yes, I have.
It's blood curdling. And so at 3 a.m, he'd decide, I want to go outside. And he'd do the howl, and then he'd knock all of the crap off the front of the fridge. And then if you still didn't come out after he knocked all the magnets off the fridge, then he'd just start knocking everything off the top of the fridge. Now, it'd be a shame if all this landed on the floor. So, yeah, Siamese cats can be kind of obnoxious.
Are you planning on getting more cats? We're at capacity. No. 5 is enough.
Yeah.
Why is Azrael such a spaz and a weird kitty? Is it the orange? She is an orange.
There's definitely some orange to it. There's times she does things. I'm like, I'm not sure why she's doing that.
She's a weird cat. She's so cute though.
She is such a sweet little cat.
All of our cats, she lays in the most cat ways, like on her back and curled up in a ball, and it's just so stinking cute.
She's very, very sweet.
She's adorable and a spaz.
Left New Jersey to take a job in PA. Will miss going to Devs games often, but need a Devs alum for a Hershey Bears jersey since they're my new local team. Vilgrain, Smith, Pelly, Siegenthaler, or someone else. Smith Pelly might be kind of fun. You're not going to see a lot of those jerseys. Claude Vilgrain, at this point, that's from so far ago. I don't know how many people would actually remember that name, although I definitely have some names on the backs of jerseys that I have to explain to people too. So have fun with it.
Watch prospect game, Blue Jackets versus Wings. Traversity Adams Fantilli is amazing.
Fantilli's a very good player, and the expectations are that he will be one of their top 2 centers for a long time to come.
How are the global series going to work?
The global series, there's the games on the 4th and the 5th. They're going to be played early in the day. So even though we have a concert on the 5th, that shouldn't be of any problem because the NHL game that day is very early in the day. And both coming from Prague. And then there's the other games in November. There's 2 games in November as well. But yeah, the global series games are always fun. It's always interesting to see games played in Europe and see how different everything is with the presentation compared to the North American games.
What songs they play.
Yep.
That's what I think is fun.
Yep.
I don't know what this is. Oh, doesn't have anything there. How do you think Logan Mailloux will do this season?
So there's a spot for defenseman in Montreal, and the conventional wisdom right now is either Mailloux or Hudson makes it. And Hudson has been turning a lot of heads during preseason. Well, the rookie tournament, right? I think Hudson has a leg up right now of the 2, but I think both of them will see time in Montreal this year. I just think Hudson has a higher ceiling than Mailloux.
Yvonne, are you going to be a Utah fan? Probably not. Though when there is a new team, I always want them to do well, at least for the first season, just for all those new fans. It's always fun for the new fans if their team isn't terrible right off the hop.
So you're probably not going to want the new jersey with just the Utah word mark.
No, nah, I've already said that.
Okay.
Nah,
all right. I'll get one. We just don't know when. Right. I haven't heard anything yet about the new jerseys when they're arriving. I think it's anybody's guess. I have a feeling that the September date We're into the second half of September now. We'll see if that comes to pass.
Do you think the Devils' additions to the bottom six will help them go deep in the playoff?
I think they'll get to the playoffs. I think to go deep in the playoffs, the first thing you need is good health, which has eluded them over the last couple of seasons. And the second thing you need is really solid defensive structure and sound goaltending. So depth forwards are important to not cost you the game, but if you're going to win the games, you need that sound goaltending and you need really solid defensive structure.
Will Utah have jersey for sale this year or wait until they know the team name?
There's going to be basically a placeholder jersey available. It looks like the black one will be relatively widely available. The white one will be far more difficult to get. And then next year we'll have very likely Yeti team name is going to be the one they go with, and we'll have those jerseys next season.
Thoughts on my Green Day Packers this year? And Yvonne, how much do you like American football? I know you love it.
Packers are 2-0, I think, so far, aren't they? I'm a very disillusioned fan of the Bengals right now. I had all of these thoughts that Joe Burrow, finally Cincinnati's going to win a Super Bowl at some point soon, and they're 0-2, so it's not going to happen.
I really don't like American football. I find it really boring. There's so much just time spent on arguing where the line is, where the foot touched, where the ball touched, where he touched the ball.
I did watch
a bunch of guys in tights jumping on each other, smacking each other's bums.
I watched a lot of the Miami-Buffalo game. Yvonne got to watch firsthand as I was mad at the play calling Miami was doing. But then they made up for it by having Tua just run head first into the defensive player and concuss himself, which I thought was the most Miami thing that I've seen happen. But hopefully Tua's not out for that long. I haven't seen any updates on that yet, but it's a very Miami thing. The play calls, I'm like, why are you running the ball? Like she noticed I was yelling at the TV a lot. Like, why are you running here? They know you're going to, look, it's running for a loss. What a surprise. Everybody knew you were running the damn ball. Try something different. Oh, now you're going to send the quarter. Oh, and he's hurt. Well, that's different. You hurt the quarterback, so.
That's how Shannon watches sports. Why are you doing that? Come on. That's really smart. That's exactly how he watches.
I get mad watching the NFL like nothing else because I'm like, what's with the play calling? This play calling sucks.
Shannon, don't give up on the Bungles.
I don't know that. I feel bad for Joe Burrow.
Shannon likes the Cincinnati Bengals and the Bengals. Coincidence? I think not. Yvonne's true love is baseball. Plenty of downtime to drink tea. Oh, baseball.
She's been bugging me.
Football.
Like last summer this summer
Whatever
when we went to Anaheim,
is a load of crap.
She wanted to go and see an Angels game.
That's not how that conversation went.
She really wanted to go and see an Angels game. We just did not have the time for it that trip.
That's not.
But on our next trip, on our off day, she wants to go and see an Angels game.
How it actually went is Shannon saw that there was an Angels game while we were there, and I told him, I'm not going. You can find somebody.
I would enjoy going to a baseball game.
You can find. I bet one of the subscribers with. I am not going to go. I've been to baseball games.
I would enjoy going to a baseball game.
Do not waste the money on me. I do not want to go to a baseball game.
It's not that expensive either. That's the thing. Baseball games not that pricey. And you can usually still get good seats.
Because it's going to be so boring.
I wouldn't mind watching baseball games live. I think that'd be kind of fun.
But not with me.
No.
Yvonne, go to a NASCAR race. You would love it. You will see. It's great. I would not love it.
I tried to talk her into going to a demolition derby they were having locally. She didn't want to go to that either. I'm like, it's a demolition derby. Everybody wins.
Demolition derby with
Everybody wins demolition derbies. Yeah, but this is strictly a demolition derby / drag race. And not
the fun
not
kind
the
of drag
RuPaul
race.
kind. No.
Those are the entertaining kind of drag race.
Yeah, but
I don't want to
drag races are over in like 10 seconds.
So what's the point?
To see who gets the fastest from point A to point B.
But I don't care.
And there's the problem.
So there's that.
Therein lies the problem.
Have you been to an MLB game? If so, what stadium?
I never have.
I have. I've been
love
to Mariners game in Seattle.
Yep. I'd love to go to an MLB game. One of our trips down south, that'd be great.
So
Either
somebody
to Vegas,
take my husband to a baseball
either to
game because
Vegas
I'm
when
not
Vegas
going.
gets their team, or sometime down in Anaheim. I've got an Angels jersey. I'm all set to go. I have an A's jersey too for Vegas.
I'm not doing it. Nope.
I think I have two A's jerseys actually.
So boring. There's so many things I would rather do besides sitting and watching baseball.
The only baseball item I have that she likes is my Diamondbacks jersey.
Because I can call him a D-back.
I ordered the nice Arizona jersey, and they sent me the one that says D-backs across the front. And I'm like, that's not the one I wanted.
So now every time he wears it, I'm like, you're a D-back.
I just, like, all I wanted was the nice with the A, the black one with the A or purple one with the A on it. It's really, really nice. And I get D-backs. And I'm like, well, it's Arizona,
so now,
technically.
Now my wife can make fun of me every time I wear it.
Now I get called a D-back every time I wear it. Cool.
It's exactly what happens to you.
Way to go, D-back. Thanks.
See, and that's how our marriage functions. Yvonne's favorite team is the Savannah Bananas. That sounds like it. Is that a real name?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I could picture Adelaide naming
and
the team Savannah Bananas.
That their mascot's a banana. Yeah.
Where is Savannah Banana?
Florida.
Do they grow bananas in Florida?
I wouldn't have
do
any way to know that.
Do they grow bananas in Florida?
I would imagine they do.
I know they grow oranges there, right?
It's
I don't
tropical
know about bananas. It's
soaked
hot
all the time.
Oh, well, that was funny. THG meet up at T-Mobile Park to watch the Mariners. I'm not going.
I have a Mariners jersey too.
Not doing it.
I have more than half of the Major League Baseball teams. During 2020, when we weren't sure when hockey was coming back,
Savannah's in
I got
Georgia, not Florida.
Georgia's Savannah,
near
Florida too, though, I think.
Not that I know of. I don't know of a Savannah, Florida.
Well, Georgia and Florida are right next to each other.
Florida.
They're right next to each other. Georgia peaches, Florida oranges. It doesn't matter. It's the same fruit.
No, one is good and one is disgusting.
No, they're both oranges. A peach is just a kind of orange. It's just basically a pink orange. But they can't call it a pink orange because that's two different colors. So they just call it a peach. They're the same. They're basically the same.
And that's what Shannon is like all the time.
What Yvonne is like all the time.
All the time.
Sewing, sewing, sewing. I'm Yvonne. Sewing,
who can remember all those U.S. states? There's too many of them, right? I haven't had to know all of the states and their capitals since, isn't that grade 4 you have to learn?
Man,
that?
I used to know all the states in alphabetical order.
Of course you did.
No, we had to.
In alphabetical order?
Well, we had to memorize all 50 states, so the easiest way to do it.
The alphabetical
No, my friends
part.
and I, we decided we'd go through and memorize all 50 states in alphabetical order so we could quiz ourselves on it. So we'd have the list, and then we'd each go through, and then we knew all 50 states that way. State capitals, too. We had to know the state capitals, too.
Right. We had to do the states and the capitals.
Yeah. That's in Canada. We had to know all the states and all the capitals. I would not have done it
alphabetical.
We did. It's easy. Right now, I'm thinking Alabama, Arkansas. It's in my head right away.
But that's because you're
Alaska. Okay, no.
Shannon's ridiculous.
I just erase all that.
Shannon's ridiculous. Shannon, did you listen to Nirvana or any grunge music considering you were living above the grunge scene in Seattle?
I was a big fan of the movie Singles, which I watched with my wife, and she pointed out that it was a giant commercial.
Oh my gosh,
Seattle.
That was so weird. That was a weird movie.
But the movie has really good songs from not Soundgarden, from Mother Love Bone, from Pearl Jam. I was never a Nirvana fan. I could handle Soundgarden. Soundgarden was okay, but I was more of a Pearl Jam fan than any of the others. She was more into Nirvana.
True. Ever considered going to Burning Man?
Nah. I'm too old for that at this point. It just looks like a lot of
stupidness.
No, I'm just too old.
What is your favorite sports movie?
Hers is Inside Out too now.
Yeah. That's the best hockey movie.
That's her favorite sports movie. My favorite sports movie would be Moneyball. if I just need to just relax and chill out, I just throw on Moneyball. I know that's not exactly how things happen in Oakland, but it's a fun movie. Brad Pitt's great in it. No complaints for me.
There you go. People talking about other movies. Sandlot, Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is very good too.
Slapshot, Mighty Ducks. Shannon loves the Mighty Ducks movies. No. Those are his favorite. When we go to hockey games, he's always yelling that they need to do the flying V. That's how that goes.
That's how that works.
I think most grunge and alternative rock bands suck. You're wrong. Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Offspring are the only bands I like.
Alice in Chains was very good. Alice in Chains was in that movie too.
I really like Offspring. They're amazing. Dodgeball. We both like that movie.
I don't really qualify that as much as a sports movie though, because Dodgeball, it's barely a sport. It's on the Ocho.
we joke about and quote Dodgeball quite a bit.
Yeah. It is going to be more difficult for him to see, Cotton.
Oh, how about System of a Down? They're great.
I don't really see them as grunge.
Nope.
They're more punk than grunge.
Do you like Green Day? Yep.
She's a big fan of Green Day.
Whatever. Offspring is awesome. You're wrong. Dodgeball more of a game than a sport. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. That's one that we.
An amazing movie.
I read it in a book.
Yeah, I quote White Goodman a lot. Anytime I'm trying to hit on her, I'll fall right into Dwight.
Yes.
You caught me. I like breaking a mental sweat too. Are you reading the dictionary?
Do you play fantasy football or does it take up too much time during hockey season?
I used to, got bored with it.
Thoughts on the adjusting for varied tax discussion that has re-arisen? High taxes really hurt our market. Buffalo, one less issue would help.
I think it's a difficult one to navigate because let's just say that certain states and whoever else the tax laws change over time. You're going to have adjustments. And I mean, the argument is there. And I think the reason people are getting mad about it now is because the Florida-based teams are really successful. When the Florida Panthers were being mismanaged for 25 years before Bill Zito came in and did it right, it really wasn't much of an issue. Yes, Florida could sign guys, but they never signed the right guys. It stands out now because Florida's being run properly. I think the NHL would love to have some kind of a quick fix, but I don't know what that looks like, and I'm not sure the NHL has an idea of what that would look like either.
I say it's a bold strategy, Cotton, at least once a week. Shannon does quote that one quite a bit.
It's a bold strategy. Let's see how it works out for him. I say that while I'm watching hockey games. There was a bold strategy today where there's a shorthanded play. Goalie comes out to play the puck, and nope. And so guy goes behind him, it goes in the net, and the goalie's still halfway to the blue line. I was like, he committed to the play.
So frustrating. What are you doing?
You're headed for the AHL. Enjoy the AHL.
You're the goalie.
All you had to do is stay in the net. But yeah, all right.
Let's see. Who would Columbus maybe go after to beef up the forwards after losing Gaudreau? Rest in peace. Bought my season opener ticket to see him and Monahan reunite the day of his passing.
So they've signed Van Riemsdyk. There are a couple of forwards out there. I do wonder, like, a player who is currently on a tryout with the team doesn't have a contract with that team. Technically, one of the players who's on a tryout for one team could get contacted by Don Waddell and sign a contract with Columbus. I don't know that there's a lot of players out there who aren't at least on a tryout already who would be able to just jump right into the lineup. I guess Kessel's name's still out there, but I'm not sure that that's where Waddell would be looking either.
If Phoenix gets an NHL team again, do they go back with Coyotes or go with Roadrunners or something completely new?
Alex Morello still has the rights to Coyotes. He still has that ownership of that. If a new owner purchased that from him, so Morello would make more money, which is what everybody in hockey world wants right now. He only made $1 billion for blowing the team up and getting them moved. But I really think if they went back to Arizona, something brand new would make more sense. Like when the Minnesota North Stars came back, they were the Minnesota Wild. The way that the North Stars went to Dallas left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Going with a new name made sense. And so that's why I think it would make more sense for Arizona to get a new team name, a new look, new everything to start fresh.
Can the Blue Jackets convince Rick Nash to come out of retirement? LOL.
Unlikely at this point. But I do think that Don Waddell's not going to leave any stone unturned. He doesn't want the team to be at the bottom of the division this year. It's going to be difficult not to finish at the bottom of the division, but I don't think that his goal has changed much. It's just, I think he's going to be a little more understanding of if they get off to a rough start than he would have been before this.
What happened to Johnny's contract now?
It's just gone. Last I saw, they were below the cap floor. Signing JVR, I think, puts them just above the cap floor, but there's a lot of cap space there. The contract, as far as I can tell, is taken off the books. I don't know if Columbus has the option to just pay out the rest of that contract to his widow. I think if they could, I think they will. But yeah, I think there's a lot of unanswered questions because it's really kind of uncharted territory.
Wouldn't Goudreau be insured for for his family?
There'd be insurance there, but it wouldn't be at that same amount as what his contract was. And I don't know what the length would be on that insurance either. I don't know if that insurance would encompass the entire time of that contract. And so, yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions with that.
Hopefully he had life insurance or something like that, having a
probably
job, the kind of job
I would think has. Probably.
I would think so. I would think most people that have jobs that pay that amount would have life insurance. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Hey Shan, glad you and Yvonne are feeling better. Also marked out hard on your 08 history video about how Ozzy should be in the Hall of Fame. 14-4, 1.55 GAA, 0.930% came in game 3 versus Nashville and was savior.
Yep, Chris Osgood belongs in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, him and McGillney are the ones that to me are the biggest, most egregious not in the Hall of Fame players.
If there's no OV for the Caps, do they still have a chance to have a meaningful position?
Yes. I think what they showed last year was they can win when Ovechkin isn't scoring. Ovechkin wasn't helping them a lot during the first half of the season, but they stayed in the hunt. So I think that if Ovechkin is hurt, if he's going to miss any time, I think Washington can stay in the hunt.
Any tips? Oh, hold on, I moved. Any tips for me to use as an American when trying to explain hockey to my hillbilly family and friends?
I mentioned yesterday or a couple days ago in a video that if you go to the NHL stats page, there's a little link for Hockey 101, a little red box in the lower right-hand corner, and it'll go through anything that you want to know about hockey. Works like a chat window, and you can zoom in. It tells you about all the rules, video reviews, how the game works. Everything is right there. And just, you know, there's documentaries on Amazon that are hockey related. I mentioned in the video the other day too, the Russian 5 one, which I watched with her one night. Really interesting. And it gives you a background on the players. So you can get like a general idea of the game. And then if you're interested in the players, I think you're more interested to watch the product at that point. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. Find them some documentaries and go through just any of the terminology that they're curious about, and go to a hockey game. Going to a hockey game is an excellent way to learn the game.
If they're familiar with soccer, I usually tell people it's very similar to how soccer is played.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar.
Yeah, the offside and everything.
There's also a playlist on this channel, Hockey 101.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
All sorts of things. Feel free to watch
those.
Whatever, plug the channel. Watch the videos.
I figure they're already here, so they may very well already know about the Hockey 101 playlist.
Not everybody, but there's a playlist. Yeah. This Hockey 101, Shannon's been making a few more this year. We made a bunch before Vegas came in because we always get people that are new to hockey.
And I've always been willing to explain little things about the game that people don't understand. We've had that in California. We've had that in Vegas as well.
Do or did you have a favorite NASCAR driver?
Dale Earnhardt. When I was growing up, it was Dale Earnhardt, and yeah, he was my favorite. I'm old enough to remember Cale Yarborough. For anybody who remembers Cale Yarborough, and then if you go over to Bobby Rahal was my other favorite racer. Bobby Rahal was kind of awesome. I was a big fan. I like Bobby Rahal. He was just the right mix of aggressive without being dirty about it. So there was some honor in the way he raced, but he could be pretty aggressive going to the corners too.
Have you ever thought of doing a collection of Stanley Cup replica rings? My personal favorites are the 2004 Lightning and Vegas last year.
I don't know where I'd put them. I don't know where I'd put rings if I started collecting rings.
I would rather he did not.
So, like the WWE belts, for instance, Yvonne really wants me to start collecting those WWE legacy belts.
Not a thing.
So she wants me to have a belt over my shoulder for videos.
That's
I'm talking about certain teams. So if she wins that argument, I'll have one soon, I guess.
Not true.
But Christmas is coming.
Not a thing.
So with Christmas on the way, they're only $800, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
I would prefer to buy groceries.
I have a WWE belt over my shoulder.
Who needs to feed children? No. Any franchises or teams that switched cities amicably? You mentioned a move left a bad taste, and that got me wondering.
Well, I mean, there's locations where at the time that a team moved, there wasn't necessarily a big stink about it. When Atlanta moved, it was done very, very quickly. Atlanta, there had been rumors for a while around Atlanta about how well it was going to work long term. So, and I remember the first time with Atlanta too, it seemed to be kind of a quiet move. When the Colorado Rockies moved to New Jersey, I don't remember a lot of bad feelings there. And then, of course, they get the Avalanche eventually. So there have been times where a team moves and it's just kind of very quiet and understandable.
You can charge people to hold your WWE belt. That will be enough for groceries. Like random people walking by or wear the belt to the grocery store and they have to give you food for free. That's how that works.
It's kind of fun. The funny thing with wrestling belts is you wear it over your shoulder and it kind of
doesn't help you hold.
But if you wear it around your waist, it looks silly.
It's to hold your pants.
You got to have it over your shoulder. So, and you got to flip it over the shoulder so you get this flip over the shoulder. Flip you over my shoulder.
Wish.
Want to see that in the live stream?
No.
I can do that. I've done it.
The kids think that's way too funny.
Not as funny as they thought when you could do it.
Do you think Duclair is a strong fit on a line with Barzal and Horvat?
Duclair has speed for days. The one question mark with Duclair is always finish. So at times he's been a very good scorer at the NHL level, and at times he's had his struggles. It's part of the reason he's bounced around as much as he has. But he has the speed to keep up with the top line. I'm not sure that the production is going to leave him on the top line for the season, but he probably starts there.
If Vancouver wins the cup, Shan has to get Canucks WWE World Title belt. Sure. Okay.
Yep, sure. That'll happen.
It's kind of like Shannon's whole, well, if I see Scarlett Johansson, yeah, sure, go right ahead. You guys can go out on a date and have a good time. Like that.
I have asked her, I said, so if I have a chance at a date with like a big celebrity, is it okay? And she's like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
sure,
go right ahead. Have a blast.
She says it as if it's never going to happen. I mean, it's not, but still.
Do the Ducks finally name a captain?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if they do yet. I think if you were going to name one now, I think Fowler would make a lot of sense. I think they're going to see which of the young players has the best leadership skill and pick from those eventually. But for this season, Fowler to me would make the most sense of their players.
Of the two of us, Shannon is taller.
Yeah,
not by much. We're pretty close. It's really nice. What am I drinking? I'm actually drinking a Christmas tea. It's a mint and black tea. It's really yummy. I really like it. So I stock up when they sell it for Christmas. When it goes on sale afterwards, I stock up and then I have it for the rest of the year. Let's see. Ducks are trying to trade Fowler. I unironically think the Canucks have the best chance to be the next team to win their first cup. Nashville, I feel, is up there too, especially with the moves they made in the offseason.
Vancouver's the one that's being picked by a lot of media as the potential next one to win their first Stanley Cup. I would love to see it, but I do think of the teams that haven't won, Nashville's probably next.
I would be thrilled if John Taffer and Torts had a reality TV show and ran a bar together. Be so many beep in that. Just beep, beep, and yelling. My favorite thing with
John Taffer and Chef Ramsay does this too.
So ridiculous.
How they'll make a mess and they'll throw stuff on the floor, they'll throw it against the wall, they'll throw it out of a canyon, like wherever. And all we think is now somebody's got to go clean that up.
You know, there's somebody behind the camera just thinking, seriously?
They're not cleaning it up.
Yeah, just throw that. Remember that one time he threw stuff in a fryer?
Yes.
Because I was like, what the hell? Somebody has to clean that up, and pretty quickly before it burns.
Or Chef Ramsay with the fire and not knowing how to put the fire out. We're like, what is he doing carrying the pot
around?
Why
is he flinging that around?
Can he not find a lid? Can you find a lid? Just put a lid over it.
Throw it across the room into the sink, and okay, now it's splashing.
Now everything's on fire.
Oil.
Yeah, good job. Everything's on fire. Good job there, chef.
But you know, if you never have to clean it up yourself, then I guess it doesn't matter if you throw it, right?
Yeah, Taffer's like that. My favorite thing is when Taffer makes a huge mess, goes, get somebody to clean this crap up.
Clean this up.
You just threw it all over the floor, dude. You did it yourself.
If Atlanta ever returned, would they be the Thrashers again or have a new name, in your opinion?
I think it'll be a new name. Thrashers was one that Ted Turner came up with when the Atlanta Thrashers came in. I think it'll be a new name and it'll be something different. And I look forward to it. Depending on which group gets the bid, of course. There are two different ownership groups trying to get the NHL's attention right now.
Yvonne, what is your favorite thing about Shannon? How cute he is.
I like her lack of being able to see very well.
I
just assume this is all just a blur, and she goes, I guess he's good looking. I don't know. Is he good looking?
I just think Shannon's an awesome person. He's fun to hang out with. He's fun to talk to. He's not too annoying.
I remember the first time that a girl said I was good looking, and the closest I got was me asking her saying, so you think I'm cute? And she goes, I mean, I guess. I was like, you know what? I'll take it. She was my girlfriend at the time too. So getting, I guess, from somebody who's dating me at the time, it was a good feeling. It was nice. I mean, I guess. Thanks. She didn't put it in a card, though. Would have been nice if that was in a card.
Has anyone told you that you look similar to Patton Oswalt?
Yeah. Patton Oswalt and I also have very similar personalities. I've watched his stand-up and gone, yeah, I could probably have done something very similar to that if I was doing a stand-up routine. There's definitely some similarities there.
What was your favorite and least favorite thing about your trip to Anaheim for the Ducks game?
Favorite part of the trip is, Disneyland.
Well, but it says for the Ducks game. So I think it's
the Ducks game?
The Ducks game specifically. That was really neat going up into the
I really liked where they had us seated. I thought it was really nice where they had us seated. I really enjoyed doing the interview on the radio. That was a lot of fun. Stressful, but a lot of fun.
The kids thought that was
the kids had such a good time.
Cool.
Adelaide came out with Wild Wing being her favorite of the mascots now.
Adelaide had so much fun.
I can't think of a bad thing about Anaheim. Their stadium could use a little more of a punch up. It's kind of cavernous and a little bit less.
I know a bad thing. Yeah. We just barely missed Offspring Night. That was lame.
Yeah, that was sad.
I was like,
they were advertising it every 5 seconds too.
That would be so
And we're like,
cool.
yep, so Offspring Night's going to be after we're gone.
But Wild Wing was really cool. Adelaide was so happy.
Yes.
They were really nice. Our oldest son has special needs, and we didn't have our noise canceling headphones. And they gave him a set, which was really nice, and he even still uses those. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool. Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about the Anaheim Ducks. As an organization, as people, great people. I love dealing with them, and it's obnoxious because I hated the Ducks, and it seemed to work for them too, because they were always in the playoffs and a contender. I don't hate the Ducks anymore; they're not in the playoffs. Sometimes my hate seems to work. I don't hate the Sharks anymore either; they're not in the playoffs either. So, see, this is what ends up happening.
When are you going back for Adelaide to ride the Zamboni? Oh, man, she really, really wants.
That's going to be tricky, because the next time that we'll have the opportunity would be during Four Nations, and there's no hockey games during Four Nations. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of a little tricky and touchy for us, but I think she'll be okay with maybe an extra time in Disneyland over what we were going to have.
Yeah, I think she might.
And then we'll have like a meetup, and she enjoys meetups too. So
it's true.
That'll be fun for them to go to the meetup.
Have you ever seen a Disney guest act like a complete D-back at Walt Disney World in Florida? It's pretty often. Not too much. I haven't seen it at
Disneyland. There's been some obnoxious people. We had
I think there's people that aren't
the obnoxious girls. The one time we were on,
oh my gosh, that was
Star Tours.
Yeah, that was irritating.
Awful. That's as close we get. We get obnoxious guests that scream a lot. It's like, okay, stop.
It's always Star Tours, isn't it? And then the one time where we had last time, the kid screechy laughing, like really loud, intentional screechy laughing in the indoor queue, and then was banging on the wall, and they were right behind us. So I put my earplugs in.
Yeah. And the parents are just standing there watching. Look around.
That was awful. But other than that, Shannon, if you were not married right now, what would you be doing? Yvonne, same to you.
I'd be doing videos. I don't see, the thing is with how big the channel is now, if I was single, I don't think I'd want to date. I don't think I would enjoy the whole dating of any of it. I think I would just immerse myself in videos and just ignore the whole. See, at the time she came into my life,
him to date me. So
times she came into my life, I was already starting to kind of hermit as it was, and I was kind of torn on whether or not I wanted to do the dating thing. So she
took a bit of convincing.
She did have to kind of convince me, because I was kind of thinking to myself, you know what, I'm better off single. And I don't think that if I was in a position right now where I was single, I'd have any interest in finding anybody. I think it'd be like, nope, I'll do live streams and videos all day and, do my own thing.
I don't know what I would be doing. I mean, I'm sure I'd be knitting. Still, if my 3 kids, I would be super stressed if I was doing that on my own. Yeah, that would be very stressful. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'd be doing. Do you know the last time a rookie made first or second team? My guess is Selene. Do you think it will ever happen again?
You'd have to be in a position where a rookie player is going to get really prime ice time, and they're kind of going to have to come into the league ready, sort of like what happened with Kaprizov there in Minnesota. I think Demidov in Montreal, if he spends enough years in the KHL, he could come over and be that good. But it is a long shot that we'll ever see that again.
Shannon would need a bodyguard if he was single with all them ladies swooning. That's what I tell him.
No.
He'd be just swatting them away. Just, no, ladies, leave me alone. I'm living the single life. True.
Let's see.
Agreed.
Okay, if I'm going through every woman right now that I think has a crush on me, which is 0, and I multiply that with how many people I talk to regularly, which is also 0.
Just shooing the ladies away.
0.
Shooing them away.
8 equals 0.
Was recently messaging a woman on a dating app. It was going well, and then she said, "Oh, so I actually hate Taylor Swift. It didn't work out." Can you guess who said that?
I know. Who said that. I mean, we talked about movies before, and movies and music and everything before we met.
We did. We talked for quite a while before we even met in person.
Yeah, it went pretty well.
And Shannon is the first person I've ever been with that likes a lot of the music that I like as well.
Yeah, it's close.
We definitely have some music that doesn't overlap.
Like Dua.
You like a lot of music that I would rather
It's my pop artists that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but it is really nice being with somebody that you can actually listen to the same music.
What countries are highest on your bucket list? Scotland. I would love to go to the Highlands. Because movies like Braveheart, Highlander, all that fun stuff. Germany, so much I'd love to see in Germany. I'd love to go to Austria and go to Vienna so we could live out before sunrise and just see if we could walk around the streets of Vienna at night and have that kind of magical experience. I don't know, like seeing the Great Wall of China would be fun. Being able
I'm a fan of seeing anything I've never seen before.
Right.
Which is a lot. I like going places that I've never been.
See, and then I said to suggest going to baseball games in cities she's never been to, and she's like, no. So we'll see. Shannon should be in charge of Love Island. I think Yvonne and I should both be in charge of Love Island. I think we'd be great on that show.
I don't know if I could.
There could be a lot of you knock it off and you knock it off. Stop that. The camera's right there. Would you please
cross your legs?
Please, for the love of God, cover up. The camera's right there, and that cameraman needs some help. He is seriously demented. The cameramen on reality shows are just nasty. I'm not a fan.
Well, and whoever edits it, because they will have at least a full days of footage, and they have to do that one shot of her bending over or putting on clothes or like seriously. Of all the stuff that you could have put on there, you had to put that? I'm sure she wants that out there for the whole world to see.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Happens on Love Island a lot when they're getting dressed and they're talking about whatever, and it's like, man, you don't need to put that on there. You didn't need to put that on there.
Dumb.
That's when you can tell in the editing process which people they really don't like. That's when you can tell. The challenge does that too. I'm well aware the challenge does some creative editing.
Okay. I hate reality shows so much. What U.S. cities would you like to visit?
Boston, New York.
Disney World.
Miami be fun. Jacksonville, just so I could yell Bortles a couple of times. Just so I could say I went to Jacksonville, Florida. Didn't find Jason Mendoza.
That's all I know is Bortles.
Bortles, yeah.
Come to Kansas City. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Where else would we go?
I'm not.
Dallas would be fun. I'd love to go to Dallas. Austin, Texas is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. So I'd love to go to Austin. We've been to Portland, Seattle, LA, Anaheim. I mean, Northern California would be fun too. If we ever went to Northern California, like San Francisco and Oakland.
Agreed.
So yeah, that kind of thing.
Reality shows are the death of television.
It's changed TV, but honestly, when I look back at some of the sitcoms from the early 2000s, we didn't really lose anything.
I also don't like sitcoms, so
I don't know why I watched According to Jim. I've been trying to figure that out. I've been watching reruns and going, I used to like this show. I watched it every week. Why? Why did I watch this show? It's just objectively not funny. So yeah. Reality shows have hurt scripted TV, but now we have what scripted TV is: doctors, and cops and fire departments.
Yeah, the medical and emergency.
So it's only a matter of time before we get fire police hospital.
We were talking about that the other night. So the next show is going to be the firefighters and police at the hospital.
Yeah, it'll all be combined.
And something happens. And they have to do the surgery.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know. I don't like most TV shows though.
Surgical fire cops. There's the name. Surgical fire cops. You're welcome, ABC.
What other words can we get in there to have it come up on everybody's? You must watch this list.
Surgical fire cops, now with more explosions.
What is that firefighter show we see? And there's always like
the 9/11 one. The 9/11 one with Rob Lowe.
Yes, that's the one. Every commercial and there's explosion.
Half the cast from like all the CW shows.
I don't know where they live, but I don't want to live there. It's like Murder, She Wrote.
Everybody she knew died.
Do not be her friend. Certainly do not be friends with her nephew.
It's only a coincidence that Angela's always around. What a really strong coincidence that is.
No, it's nah. What would even be an option for a team name in Atlanta?
I mean, the Peaches? Georgia Peach, right?
That would be a
Atlanta
name.
Peaches.
Don't do it.
You'd have a peach-colored jersey, and you could say, "Our hockey is the Pits."
That's not a good thing.
It could be, though.
No, it could
It's good Pits. Not bad Pits. Good Pits.
No.
So, Atlanta, call me. I have all kinds of merchandising ideas for the Atlanta Pits.
Why didn't you find Seinfeld funny? Because he was not funny.
It's just observational. There was one season of Seinfeld I thought was really funny. Every season before it and after it, I didn't like. There was one season where I was like, this show's funny now. And then the following season was like, oh, nope, it was just a fluke. And I didn't find it funny after that. The season that had the bet, the season with the close talker, the season with the virgin and all that, like that was funny. But everything before and after, I just didn't find funny. I found it just mean.
I did not think it was funny, but I don't think it's funny to always be making fun of people.
See, our mascot's Kyle Pitts. There you go.
There you go.
Or just Pity. Pity can be the...
I saw somebody said their arena would be the Pit. I don't know where that is, but...
Yeah, see, and then you could do like a Beverly Hills 90210 kind of tie-in where you have the Peach Pit. You could have like the whole, like, you know, you have the Fortress in Vegas, so you could have the Peach Pit, like a little like coffee shop up at the top there. And you could have like Jason Priestley's not busy. He's probably somewhere in Vancouver. You could just bring him in to work in the Peach Pit for the first season. I'm Canadian. Jason Priestley's Canadian. You could just tell him that I said it was okay. So, because we all know each other. Jason's my buddy and all that. So, yeah, I think the Peach Pit in Atlanta for the Atlanta Peach Pits or the Peaches or just the Pitties.
That's an awful name.
Yeah. You could call it a pity trip. Pity party. Oh, hey, the pity party. That'd be great. Come and enjoy Shannon, the pity parties.
Come up with ideas live.
It's the pity party. You could have that for viewing parties when they're on the road. Come out and watch the pity party.
So you guys ask what Shannon's really like. That's it. And then he has to run and come tell me his genius idea and just be laughing and giggling the whole time.
I'm this close to a video on the Atlanta Pitties.
His idea.
The Atlanta Pits, it's this close to being a video now. It's this close to being the Atlanta Pits.
Peach cobbler deals at the stand. Brad Pitt can be the special guest puck dropper.
See?
Oh, Josh likes Seinfeld. Of course not shocking since Yvonne doesn't.
Like I said, I enjoyed the one season. There's one season of Seinfeld that I enjoyed, and everything before and after, I didn't.
The kids' team is the itty bitty pity committee.
See? There's so much you can do. And I think a peach-colored jersey would be fun. And she will admit, a peach-colored jersey would be fun.
I mean,
and then a giant pit right in the middle.
You're a giant pit in the middle.
I knew that was coming. Didn't let me down. I just figured I'd reel you in.
Pittsburgh would not like that. Call the team at shop the Pit Stop.
Right. There's all kinds of pit stuff he can do.
Mr. T can be there and say, I pity the fool.
See?
I'm not going to hear the end of this for very,
this
very
team is
long
the Pits.
time. I am going to hear his random thoughts on this team for a very long time.
Random thoughts. I'm going to fire up NHL 24 and make a jersey. Then I'll start sending you footage of how the pits do. So.
It's so dumb and good. I hate it. Oh, man. We're going to be here all week. Please do a video on the pits. Will the Pits win the cup before a Canadian team?
Of course.
I would buy that THG pity jersey.
Pity. I think we need to go get the rabbits, though. I think we're getting close.
It's almost 7. Yeah, we need.
Yeah.
It gets dark before 8 o'clock now.
Yeah.
8 o'clock is like pitch black.
Yeah. So we got to get rabbits out of the yard because they're black. So if you don't get them before it's dark, good luck.
Their favorite is the corner with the blackberry bush. That's their favorite spot when they don't want to come in.
This is true. So we'll do another live stream soon. But thank you guys for coming out. Thanks a lot. Greatly appreciate it.
For the pity jersey.
See?
That's one
that
good
works.
idea.
That works. So I'll do a video on naming the Atlanta team and how this can work. So look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And yeah, we will do this again soon. Take care. We'll do a Patreon live stream sometime later on in the week. So stay tuned. We'll figure out a time and we'll get that done. That's for members as well, of course. So
this went right off the rails. Usually does.
It always goes off the rails.
It's true.
Like peaches rolling downhill. Anyways,
that's not like peaches. You cannot fit that in.
Peaches can roll off the rails.
No, they wouldn't go on a rail.
What if it's a peach train? Train full of peaches.
Peaches for free?
Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Yeah. All right. Take care, and we'll do this again soon.
Pity patter.